Hi, and welcome to Sid Says, week number 5 or episode number 5, and we'll be discussing some more transfers, gossips, and potential rumours of all Tottenham Hotspur's players into the club. Today, I've got with me at Sam_Spurs for life from Paxton Road TV. How are you, Sam?
I'm very well, thank you, Sid. Excellent, nice day, and getting ready for this. Let's see who we've got on the agenda.
Absolutely. So, you know what? Every day there's players linked left, right, and centre. There's players that we link with, they don't want to play for us anymore.
Yeah.
We've had bids accepted. The prime example is Kessie. Apparently, Kessie's now turned around and said he don't want to play for us anymore. I don't know if you've heard.
No, I've heard so many players that don't want to play. Was it that Kunde? Was it you who rejected us? Do you know what I mean? I don't know if the Japanese guy that we're after, is he signing? Is he not signing? It's still up. But, you know, I just wait until, as I said, they're doing that, hanging the shirt up. That's when it starts. Apart from that, it's just rumours at the moment. So we'll see.
Absolutely. Right. Now, we've got a few Wolves players on the agenda today because obviously, Nuno being the manager. So what we're going to start off with today is I've got my opinion on this guy. I want to hear your opinion and everybody else's opinion. So the first guy is Mr. Danny Ings from Southampton. 28 years old, striker, right-footed, 5'8", valued at 19 million. And so what do you think of Mr. Ings?
I don't know how controversial this is to others, but I want Danny Ings to come to Spurs. If I'm honest with you, he went to Liverpool. He had a bit of a hard time there. He got injured. He was injured. Everybody keeps saying he's injury prone. I think if you look at Harry Kane's injury prone. But Danny Ings is a natural finisher. He's definitely proven Premiership level. I think he's going to be a better addition than Vinicius would have been for us last season. 28, he's in his prime. Provided he wants to come to us, I'd have him. You could play him in a 2 with Kane. I could see that working. You know what I mean? You could possibly play him in a front 3, depending on where you play Kane. That does depend. But I definitely see him playing as a 2. And even as a backup, and potentially, let's not shout it out too loud, but if Kane was to go, you know, you've got a ready-made replacement who, given a chance alongside some of the other youngsters. Yeah, I'm a Danny Ings fan, not because he's the world's best, but I just think he's proven, and I think he can play at this level, definitely. Yeah.
So last season, he played 33 times. This is in all the competitions, including the FA Cup, Euro, Carabao Cup. He scored 13 goals and 4 assists. Now, good striker. I've seen some of his goals. His work rate is phenomenal as well. And I heard, I think yesterday or the day before, Nuno Gomez wants to play a 4-4-2 formation, and he's looking at playing 2 strikers. He wants 2 strikers. Now, the only thing I'm concerned about is, are they both too similar? Are they both 2 18-yard box players? Are they going to clash?
You know what? I think because of the way Kane's been playing recently, obviously we've seen Kane for England. I was screaming at the TV, Kane, stay in the box, stay in the box, stay in the box. He doesn't want to stay in the box. He wants to do everything around that. Danny Ings, I think, is that typical 18-yard box player. He scored some really good goals, really just that old Gary Lineker style. That's going back a little bit for some of the viewers. But that sort of person that's going to be in and around a 6-yard box, tap those balls into the back of the net. Now, you can imagine that Kane doing the dropping off, coming into the number 10, but then at some point having both of them in the box as well. One of them's bound to score, I think.
Yeah, and it's like what you said, innit? If Kane drops at the moment, last season, season before, when Kane drops, we ain't got anyone taking his place to be in the position where he should be. So hopefully with Ings, if he drops back, Ings is going to be there firing in.
Yeah.
19 million. Worth 19 million? Or do you think we're going to get him for less, maybe more?
You know what? 19 million for a striker is not really a lot of money. A proven striker, to be honest. Even at 28. What Spurs might look at is, can they get any resale value off him if he was to come and not do well? 2 years. I think players are getting longer and longer into their careers. And as a striker, that sort of striker, provided he can stay over those injuries, I still think he's worth the money. I really do. 15 to 20 million, I think that's worth it.
Yeah. And you know what, the other thing as well, the main thing is Kane's injury prone. Everyone knows, everyone's saying now that, you know what, he's one tackle away, one injury away from maybe finishing. However, if we've got these two, I was saying if one gets injured, the other one's there. Yeah, but the only problem is if they both get injured simultaneously, then we're going to have major problems. But fingers crossed, both will be fit, and then on and off, if one gets injured, the other one's there.
Yeah, I think it's. I personally, if you can get him for like between that 15 and 20 million, I think it's a no-brainer. Really, you know what I mean? Proven he's played at England level. I just think they'll complement each other if he plays in the two up front, and he can be. I wouldn't say, obviously, people can't say he's going to directly replace Kane, but you need some additional goals, and he does have goals in him. Definitely.
Cool. Lovely. Just a quick one, people, please like, share, and subscribe, and also follow myself, follow Sam. If you've got any comments, please leave them in the box at the bottom. We'll get back to you. Any players that you guys think or ladies think that Spurs should be going for, hit the subscribe button, follow button, share button, and also put your comments in. Now, this is another one. We've not had a good keeper for 10 years since Loris took over. We've had Gazaniga. I don't know why we got rid of him. We've had Michel Vaughan. We've had that person from up north that is living on Man City glory days. Mr. Joe Hart.
Sam Johnson from West Bromwich Albion, 28 years old. He's 6'3", price tag of 7 million. Now, believe it or not, I followed Sam Johnson for a while because he was at my hometown of Preston North End, and when he came to Preston North End, he did quite well. And then he's obviously moved on. He's had Man United. Well, he went up Man United at some point. Then he's gone to West Brom, and I think he had a very good season last year at West Brom. Yep. I think for that money, you have to buy him. If you can get him for 7 million, 28, that's young for a keeper in relative terms. He definitely replaced Joe Hart as number 2. We are looking at potentially losing Lloris, though, because I think Lloris is into his final year of his contract.
Final year. And
from what I understand, he hasn't signed and probably won't sign. So Spurs are not likely to sell him. I think they're just going to let him go his final year. So we have got a year, possibly, to start planning for a keeper. Now, why not get someone like Sam Johnson in now? At least you can have a see how he's like. 7 million, you pay that sort of money, you're bound to get that back, even if it doesn't work out. But we need to start doing something. We cannot be relying on Joe Hart to carry us through if nobody else comes in. Wow. So yeah.
I know. I mean, last season, 37 appearances. He conceded 74 goals, though, and he only kept clean sheets. Now,
look who he's playing for, though, Sid. You know what I mean? He's getting peppered left, right, and centre.
We all
bloody West Brom.
Know. Exactly. He was.
Oh, the stream seems to be breaking up a little bit. I'm not sure what's happening.
He's been linked with the England Euro. Oh, isn't retry. Right.
Sorry, Sid. It's just got a bit mental. Your screen is just breaking up. Great, that's right now.
It's going a bit crazy here.
Yeah, go on. I didn't quite hear that last bit.
Yeah, so there's a few clubs after him.
Yep. Not surprised.
But it's whether at 28 does he want to come to Tottenham as a second string keeper, because he's at a stage now where he wants first team football. He got that at West Brom. Unfortunately, they got relegated. Is he going to come in as a number 2?
Well, if it was me and I was trying to sell him the club, I would say come in as a number 2 based on the fact that Lloris is going next season. Do you know what I mean? You've got 1 year to bed yourself into the club, and then you will be the number 1. Unless we can get, I don't know, somebody else that's better than him, I would say that's how I would sell it to him. Because it by all accounts, Hugo's not going to sign. So 1 year left, that's it, he's done.
Yeah, totally agree. We just have to watch this space on this one. There's just rumours on this one, but they've not made any concrete offers, or there's nothing going on. Again, going on to Wolves now. Mr. Nuno Santos has got a few players there that he's going to hopefully want. Yep. First one, this has just come out of nowhere. Daniel Podence, 25 years old. He can play as a cam, a left wing, and a right wing. He's right-footed. This shocked me yesterday when I was looking. He's only 5'4".
He's a little guy, isn't he? He's a little guy. I didn't realise he was that small either. Right, a lot of people are talking about him and saying, oh, he's not an upgrade on us. He's just a Lucas Moura. Do you know what I mean? He's not really got a position. He doesn't really have that much about him because he's not a Jota. He's not a Jimenez. But I really like this guy. I like his ability on the ball. I've seen a couple of the goals he has scored. I know he's not scored loads, but he's quality. He's got some quality there. At 5'4", however, that's a little guy. It's a real small guy. So he's not going to be popping up in the box, knocking them headers in, is he? So would I take him? Is he better than some of the players that we've got? Is he better than Bergwijn? Is he better than Moura? I would say he's at least on that sort of level. And I think he's probably got potential to go on. But it's just whether that physicality. So he looked like he could handle himself.
Yeah.
I would go for him, and I would maybe look to cash in on somebody else at Spurs.
Problem is, really? Okay. Because problem is, right, so he's a cam, right? Can he play as a cam? Have we got any better players than him at cam? Left wing, forget that, because we've got Son. Right wing, you've got Bergwijn, Moura. So maybe on the right, I can see him. I don't know about as a cam, because we've got Ndombele, he can fit in. We've got GLC, Dele Alli. We've got all them that can fit in as a cam. Even Harry Kane, if he wanted to do it, he can. However, 24 appearances, 3 goals and 2 assists. I believe he was out. He was out for a while last season, wasn't he? He was injured, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was towards the back end of the season. He got injured. So I obviously didn't watch loads and loads of Wolves games, but the games I did see, I thought he was. I seen something in him that thought, this guy looks like he's got something. Maybe another season in the Premier League that will just make him flourish. Maybe again under Nuno, he can maybe bring more out of him at Spurs with the players around him as well. I could see him fitting in that little hole, just in there, picking up the ball, threading them little balls through. You could probably still have him in the same team, depending on the formation, and have Ndombele in there. Do you know what I mean? You could play a 4-1-2-3 sort of thing. You could even play a 3-5-2. There's so many different variations. I just think the better players you get on the pitch, the more opportunities you are to win games.
Totally agree. So this could be one for the future as a replacement for maybe Harry Winks. Sissoko, 25 years old. He's got at least good 5-6 years ahead of him. So, that's a good one. Right, another defender. Unfortunately, every show is full of defenders, but today I've only got one, and this one is his partner at Wolves, Willy Bolly, 30 years old, centre back, 6'3", at 12.6 million.
Doesn't sound like a typical Spurs buy at 30 years of age, to be honest with you. Is he better than what we've got currently? Hell yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Is he experienced enough to come in and maybe then help with the likes of a Rodon and a Yaphet Tanganga? I think so. I don't want to see, the players that we've talked about, the Dias, the Sanchez. I don't think they're going to improve us next season unless Nuno can work some sort of magic. He might have done some magic in training. So we might see that in pre-season game tomorrow. However, Willy Bolly, he's athletic, he's strong, he's got Premier League experience. It's just whether or not he need somebody else alongside him, because obviously when he's playing at Wolves, he's got Connor Cody, who seems to be more of a leader. You bring him to Spurs without the leadership, is he going to be the same player? If I was given the choice, I'd take Connor Cody. And lots of people say, why would you take Connor Cody? He's shit, he's rubbish. No, it's not because he's the best footballer in the world. It's because of his qualities as a leader. He's in the England setup. He's not in there for no reason. You know what I mean? Bring that sort of player in, get him around other players who are better than him, but he will help them. That's what it's about in terms of the defence.
I think my concern with this one is 30 years old, right? The max we're going to get, 2 seasons out of him? That's if he doesn't get injured. Yeah.
We have to look at Alderweireld, you know, and when we had Vertonghen as well. Now, I know they're different levels of player, but Alderweireld, is he, 31, 32?
31, yeah.
He might be around that sort of age. So, again, for defenders, if you're the way that footballers are these days, the careers are getting a bit longer. If he can stay free of injury, I'm just not sure about his leadership qualities. And I think at the back, we need a leader more than anything else.
Yeah. I mean, I think the deal I've heard is it's a joint deal for both of them for about 40 or just under 40 million for the pair of them. To be honest, Bonnie and Podence, that's the deal. But to be honest, if I was Nuno, I'd probably just go in for one, and I'd say to Bonnie, you know what, mate, on another day, another time, you know, because I think there's a couple of youngsters that we're looking at. I think we need to get youngsters in because all his experience, you know, I wouldn't, but this is Tottenham Hotspur for you, right?
Homegrown quota as well. We need to look at that as well. That's the other thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean we've got Tanganga, haven't we? Really, Sanchez, but he's got not Sanchez. Davinson Sanchez. He's got to go. Dyer's got to go.
Got to go.
If they're going to bring in a 30-year-old to replace them two, we're going backwards.
100%.
We're going backwards. Right. Final one. This will interest a lot of Arsenal fans. Hossam Aouar. Now, 23 years old, playing for Lyon, centre midfield. We've not been linked with him for a while. It's all been Arsenal. And as far as I'm aware, they had a 40 million bid rejected, a 50 million bid rejected. Arsenal have been all over him because apparently when they bought a party, they wanted a party, and they've not had a party at all since they got him. So they've looked at this guy. And I believe he's turned them down now as well. I read this morning that he don't want to go Arsenal full stop. So we've gone in for him. 5'7", 42 million.
Well, that's going to be a strange one because if Arsenal have offered 50 mil and they've turned that down and we're going in at 42, I can't see that working. To be honest, I've not seen a lot of him play at Lyon, but the fact that Arsenal are after him desperately and we're after him now, I'd love it. I would love it if we could get that player just for that reason. I've seen a few clips of him at Lyon, and I know he can play a bit, and there's been a lot of talk about him in other circles, you know, other teams. Is he going to be looking for Champions League football? That could be the other thing. Might be a stumbling block for us on that side.
You know, I've heard a lot. I've heard a lot about him. I've seen some clips of him, and he does look like a very, very good player. Obviously, playing at Lyon last season as well. I mean, last season, 33 appearances, 8 goals, and 4 assists. And
23 as well. 23 years of age. That's a good age.
23 years of age, yeah, exactly. And I think with this one as well is, even if we're getting for 40, 45, sell-on value might be massive. And Daniel Levy might be interested in this one because this could be one of them where we're getting for 1 season, 2 seasons, he does really well. And then we end up selling him to like Bayern or Madrid or Barca for maybe 60, 70 mil.
Do you think he's going to stump up that sort of money though, Sid? Because it's a lot of money to stump up for a player untested in the Premier League, a young player at that, you know, coming across, new environment, new cultures, new everything. We've seen what happened with the likes of Ndombele, although we're now seeing the fruits of it, but that first season was pretty much a write-off. I don't think we can afford to do that with this sort of player. We need players to come in and it's going to like literally, you know, first teamers. If I was going to spend that sort of money on him, he's got to come in and be playing in the first team straight away.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. But Son was similar as well, weren't he, when we bought him?
Yeah.
he was firing on all cylinders at Leverkusen, and we brought him in, and everyone's like, is he going to fire? Is he going to fire? And he done really, really well, and he's just gone upwards and upwards and upwards. So this guy, I think personally, is another player, a youngster who I think's got high, very, very potential. And if he's given the opportunity at Spurs, I think he'll relish it, and I think he'll come up trumps. But like you said, though, the only concern for me is the 42 million. I mean, this 42 million is just a rough more.
Is he French? I don't know.
He's French.
So we have got, we've got a French appeal at our, the likes of Big Daddy Sissoko. He might convince you, but we don't want Big Daddy Sissoko staying. So maybe Ndombele could have a word with him, because they might have been mingling in the French squad together, talk about Spurs. I just think with a player like that, with that potential, with the amount of talk that I've heard about him, he looks like and should be at a Premier League side, should be at a Champions League side. And because of that, whether or not that's going to be the allure somewhere else than rather to come to Spurs, I don't know. It's tough. Yeah.
Totally agree with you. So that's the 5 for today. So we've had Danny Ings, Sam Johnston, Daniel Podence, Willy Bolly, and Houssem Aouar. If you fancy any of these players, please leave a comment underneath, whether they be suited for Tottenham. Give us a shout, give us a share, give us a like, and please follow at Paxton Road TV. Also, Sam at Sam_Spurs for life. I'm at Sid_Spurs. We will be back next week with some more players. Hope you enjoyed the show, and we will speak to you soon. Take care, guys.
Done.